Hi, I'm Carlos Marin, author of The Ultimate Success Formula and founder of the Unlimited Success Academy, and welcome to another episode of Your Unlimited Life, the show dedicated to teaching you how to be, do, and have anything that you want in life. And boy, do we have a great show for you today. Today we've got a very, very interesting show called Are There Really Two of Me? Huh. And you're going to see pretty soon the reason why that's the name of this show. But let's start by asking this question. Do you ever wonder why it seems so hard to get yourself to do the things that you need to do, that you know you need to do, you should be doing, you have to do to succeed, but you just can't get yourself to do it? Or maybe like changing a bad habit, something you know you should stop, like maybe stop smoking or stop overeating or eating cookies or eating sugar or gluten or whatever. In this day, everything's bad for you, right? And you just can't seem to get yourself to do it. You can't stop from doing the things that you know you should stop doing, and you can't get yourself to do the things that you know you should do. It's almost like there's another one of me that wants to do things their way instead of doing what I want to do. I'm the boss. I'm in charge. How come this other dude is not paying attention to me and doing whatever the hell he wants, right? So has that ever happened to you? Well, let me tell you something. Nothing is strange. This conflict that we all seem to have within us is the power of the subconscious mind at work. In reality, it's the power of the subconscious mind at work when the subconscious and the conscious mind are not in agreement. And, I suffered from this for a long time. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't still have it, but I suffered from this big time for a long time early on in my career until I learned some of these things that I'm going to share with you here today. So when I started out in the business world, I always showed great promise. I showed great potential. I was a fast starter. I started fast. I'd get good results right away in the beginning, but then something would seem to happen. Things would just kind of flatten out. I'd seem to just self-destruct. Self-sabotage, I know is the word today, but back then, I felt like I was just self-destructing, right? And I kind of stayed in this mediocre, average place. They say that average is the what was that old saying? Average is the worst of the best and the best of the worst, right? Some kind of crazy thing like that. And that's how I felt. I was a little bit above average, making $30,000, $35,000 a year when average was making maybe, 25 to 27, 28, right? And back then, I got involved in the life insurance business. I didn't go to college, so I didn't study a profession like my mother wanted me to do. And then she convinced me to go in the life insurance business. She introduced me to some very successful people in the life insurance business. So I went in the life insurance business, but I didn't really like it, right? I didn't really like it. I was a good student, so I learned and I got all kinds of information about the policies. I knew more than anybody within a very short time about all the different types of policies, their guarantees and benefits and so forth. In fact, the guy who was my mentor in that business, he didn't know anything about the policies, but he sold millions and millions and millions of dollars. He was just a really nice guy, everybody's friend, and he cared about people. And so he had one of those charismatic personalities that showed that he cared, and so he just made tons of money, sold lots of insurance. But, I didn't have that personality. I knew lots about the policies, but I couldn't sell to save my life. One day I went out with one of the other managers, who liked me because he said, man, you're a sharp kid. You could really learn. You could be a CLU and an LUTC and a this and that and all these things behind my name. And so I go out with him and I see some prospect that, again, my mother had referred. And, we're talking to this guy and we spend a good time there, and this manager was pretty good. And we sell this $1 million policy. Well, this manager goes back to the agency, starts bragging about me. Look at this, my young superstar, $1 million policy. I was the star of the agency. And in my mind, I'm going, God, And you know, and you didn't have to put a check to do it, you know, you just, and he said, oh, don't worry about the check thing. You know, he's agreed to do a medical and he's getting the medical and so forth and so on. So, you know, it's good, it's good. And I'm like scared to death going, I wish he hadn't told everybody I sold $1 million policy, because what if something happens? See, that's how I'm thinking. What if something happens? I wish he hadn't told it, because if something happens, then, you know, I will be poop, right? So, as I started the agency for a couple of weeks, and the policy, after the guy took his medical, I guess he had some kind of condition, he was a little bit overweight, and the policy came back rated, you know, at a little bit of a higher premium. And so the guy didn't accept the policy fell through. And now, what I thought, what I expected to happen, happened. Now I'm blaming my manager, you know, I'm saying it was his fault, he should have gotten the check. You know, I asked him when we left, why didn't you get the check? He's like, oh, it doesn't matter for these policies, you know, because you got to refund them the money if something happens anyway, and da-da-da-da. So, Mr. Victim mentality, right, self-sabotaged that situation. Like all the situations that I was doing back then. It seemed like the story of my life was take 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, or 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I mean, always it worked out to it was almost even, right? And it was called self-sabotage. I was living in self-sabotage. I couldn't get the two of me to agree, right? And I didn't understand it. Thank God that I got involved in the network marketing industry and found some mentors who knew these principles. They were not just charismatic people with great personalities that were great salesmen. These were wise people that understood universal law, universal principles, and they started sharing that with me. And then when I started learning these things, I mean, it just like blew my mind, and that was the beginning of the transformation for me. So I want to give you that gift. Make sure that you have that same opportunity. So let's understand the various phases of mind and how they work, how they kind of interplay with each other to create the results that we have in our lives, right? I'm going to keep it simple today. I'm only going to talk about 2 phases of mind, the conscious and the subconscious, even though there's other things, and we'll get into those later on down the road, but I want you to understand the basics. So the conscious mind is the thinker. It is the reasoner, the thinker. It is personal and it is selective. It reasons inductively, which means it compares data, facts, statistics, information, anything in that it can in order to arrive at its conclusions. And the main conclusion that it wants to arrive at continually is what is true. What is true, what is false, what is right, what is wrong. It is the judge. The conscious mind is judgmental. Okay, so it's wanting to arrive at conclusions as to what is true, what is right, that sort of thing. Now, the subconscious mind, on the other hand, it is creative. It is totally impersonal, it is non-selective, and it reasons deductively, which means it never takes into account the truthfulness or the falseness of any information. It just always functions on the premise that the info that it's received from the conscious mind or a trusted authority is correct. It is right. It is the truth. Once it takes something and says, this is correct, this is the truth, it proceeds to produce results congruent with that information, with that suggestion, again, whether it's true or whether it's false. Important note to understand, because you're going to see in a little bit why that conflict happens when really the subconscious mind is subjective to the conscious mind. It is supposed to follow the orders of the conscious mind. But what we don't understand is a few of these facts I'm going to share with you here today, which will help you set yourself free. So, the conscious mind generates thoughts, ideas, concepts from stored information that it has in the subconscious mind, or it could pick it up from the environment, from TV, internet, media, people that are talking around you, people you associate with. But, as it generates these thoughts and ideas and goes through this process of reasoning inductively and deciding what's right and wrong and true and false and so forth, it records those impressions upon the subconscious mind, okay? Now, the subconscious mind takes those impressions. It's kind of like a recording device, right? Like a hard drive or some type of MP3 player. It's like a recording device. It takes the information, no judgment, and then just proceeds to give it form and expression in the physical world. This, my friends, is universal law. It's not a maybe thing, sometimes thing. Oh, it'll work sometime, it doesn't work. No, 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 no. This is, remember we talked about a couple weeks ago, absolute law, right? Well, this is absolute law. This is universal law. This is infinite intelligence and the laws that govern the universe. So, the subconscious mind does not originate ideas. It only accepts as true, remember, the ideas and concepts it's been conditioned to feel and to believe to be true. Then its job is to materialize them, and that's what it does. Now, once it takes an idea or a concept as true, right, repeated over time, remember we talked about beliefs? That's what a belief is. The subconscious mind has taken a concept or an idea, which could be true or could be false, but it's taken it as true. At that point, it continues to automatically act on that belief with no further direction from the conscious mind whatsoever. Continues to act on that forever and ever and ever and ever until and unless it is reprogrammed with a stronger belief by the conscious mind. In other words, the conscious mind has to take something in and believe it so strongly and then communicate it to the subconscious in the right way to reprogram the subconscious mind. Now, guess what? The subconscious mind is influenced best through repetition. Through repetition with strong feeling, whether that feeling be negative or positive. Understand one thing. Before your conscious mind was, your subconscious mind was. In other words, when we were children, we grew up subjectively, subconsciously for a great part of our first 6 years of our lives. And so it is the subconscious mind that built and created the conscious mind, not the other way around. So let's take this a little further. When you don't control your attention or your feelings, and you allow other people to influence how you think and how you feel, you impress the subconscious mind with negative ideas and emotional states. That's why people are walking around all the time confused and they say, the law of attraction doesn't work. I didn't choose to be broke. I didn't choose for bad things to happen to me. I didn't choose for that SOB to screw me. I didn't choose for blah, 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 blah. They don't understand the law, so they're confused. They don't get the fact that by their fear, by their doubt, by their worry, and by listening to negative people, they're impressing the subconscious with what they don't want. And the subconscious faithfully produces it time and time and time again, over and over and over and over again, ladies and gentlemen. Understand, the mind is like an iceberg. There's a smaller part of it that's outside on top of the surface of the water, and the bigger part of it is underneath the surface of the water, right? Now, psychologists say that the conscious mind is 10% of the overall, and this is today modern psychologists, and that the subconscious is 90% of the mind, right? Bruce Lipton, PhD, wrote a book called The Biology of Belief. And in that book, he states that human beings have over 70,000 thoughts a day, and over 90% of those thoughts are the same day in and day out. I mean, think about that. I never had any earthly idea I could even think that many thoughts in a day. Never mind, 90% of them are the same. You know why you don't realize it? Because those 90% that are the same, those are your beliefs. Those are your automatic thoughts, your automatic habit and thinking patterns that are repetitive day in and day out, holding your reality in place. Okay? Now, watch this. Remember I said that psychologists say that, that the conscious mind is 10%, the subconscious 90%. The conscious mind can process 40 bits of information per second, 40 pieces of information per second. The subconscious, however, can process 20 million bits of information per second. Do the math. That's not 90-10, ladies and gentlemen. The conscious mind may be the chooser, may be the decider, but the carrier outer of everything that happens is the subconscious mind. Why? Well, the subconscious runs all bodily functions and processes. It's what keeps us alive. Right now, your heart's beating, your blood's circulating throughout your body, your lungs are breathing, your kidneys are filtering, liquids, and your liver is detoxifying your body and all that. Which one of us is sitting here going, hey, heart, keep beating. Hey, dude, keep beating. Come on, lungs. Come on, buddy. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Blood, come on, run, run, run. Circulate, circulate. We're not doing that. We don't even know it's going on. We're not even cognizant of the fact that it's going on. The subconscious is the builder of the body. It's running all the bodily functions. It's keeping us alive. It's repairing the cells. It's regenerating the cells. And then on top of that, it's also our mental storehouse. It takes repetitive thoughts, especially those with strong feelings and emotions, and automates them so we don't have to think about them all the time. In other words, it's freeing up mental resources all the time for the conscious mind to focus on new ideas and use its power of inductive reasoning to make more choices, better choices, to expand and to grow our lives. That's the function and the power of the subconscious mind. So the subconscious is the powerhouse. It's there to protect us, it's there to serve us, and it's there to produce results. Now, when there's a mental conflict, when the conscious and the subconscious are not in alignment, when they're not in agreement, guess what? Subconscious mind wins all the time. Why? Because its number one priority is self-preservation, and it will preserve us and save us and help us against ourselves, right? So when you try to achieve something and can't get yourself to do it, when you start to succeed and then you self-sabotage, what happened? Consciously you wanted to succeed, but the subconscious had a conflicting belief, not allowing it. That's called psychological reversal. And that happened because in the process of learning, of living, of growing up, we were infected with limiting beliefs from the authority figures around us. And those limiting beliefs are what's causing us to self-sabotage. We've never taken the time to go back and question what's in our subconscious mind. Okay? That's the reality of it. We could clean it up. We could change it if we became conscious. This is what's causing us to self-sabotage our desires, our goals, and our dreams. It's that psychological reversal. And, it's like you say this, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I'm going to be a millionaire. I want to be rich. Subconscious mind says, you're full of it. We're broke. We're broke. And besides, you forget money's the root of all evil. Look at all those things that happen to the rich people. They're miserable. Their kids are on drugs. If you're rich, your friends won't even like you for you. They'll only like you for your money. All rich people are going to hell, and on and on and on and on and on. See, you haven't dealt with that buried crap that's inside of you, okay? So you consciously say you want this, but your subconscious is trying to protect you from, quote unquote, even yourself, right? So it's all that stuff that pops up, and I've done so many seminars about this, and the things that always pop up, ladies and gentlemen, always pop up is unworthiness, feeling that you're not good enough, undeserving, and I don't mean just of money or success. I mean of having a great body, of having a gorgeous spouse, of having loving relationships, of not being carrying the burden of the world on your back all the time. So the key to all of this is to become conscious. Become aware of what you're thinking, right? What are those 70,000 thoughts we're having all day long? Because those are the basis of our beliefs. Our beliefs are what's creating the life that we have, whether it's the life we want or the life we don't want. It's our beliefs that are doing that. You want to change where you're going someplace automatically right now, right? Those beliefs, that mindset that's in your subconscious mind, because your mindset's in your subconscious mind, is taking you someplace, and it's taking you someplace automatically. If you want to change where that is, you've got to become conscious. You've got to become aware of what you're thinking. You have to become deliberate in your thoughts. You got to focus your thinking on what you want, not on what you don't want. You got to direct your thoughts. You got to think consciously. Here's a beautiful play on words. You got to become conscious of being conscious. Become aware of being aware. That is the key to changing this whole shooting match. So, Here's what you got to do. Because I don't throw problems out at people without giving them solutions. And today, this is a great solution that I'm going to give you here today. A great solution and a great practice that you can begin doing right now to transform your life starting today. Here's what I want you to do. Practice catching yourself thinking. That's right. Practice, you're going throughout your day, catch yourself thinking. Grab yourself. Catch yourself thinking. As you go through your day, stop and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Become aware of it. Become aware of those thoughts that are going on and on and on and on. Become aware of the beliefs that are underneath those thoughts. As a matter of fact, stop now. Stop right now. What were you just thinking? Right now, what were you just thinking? You may be saying, well, Carlos, I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just watching the video, listening to you. Yes. You were either arguing with me or you were agreeing with me. You were saying, this guy's so full of crap, or this is such BS, or oh my God, this is so cool. I mean, oh, I never thought of this. I could change my life with this stuff. You're thinking all the time. So be honest with yourself and get a handle on it. What were you thinking right now? Because you know something? The subconscious will quiet down when you observe it. See, this is this is what's behind meditation. Meditation is really becoming aware of pure awareness. It's becoming conscious of pure consciousness. When you do that, the subconscious quiets down and it realizes that you are in charge and that you love it as much as it loves you, and you're trying to get the great life for all of you. You're trying to become an integrated person, okay? And so the subconscious will quiet down when you observe it. Do it. Prove it. Prove it to yourself. I dare you. I dare you. Become aware of what you're thinking, because that's what's producing your reality today. So here's the exercise I want you to do. For the next 24 hours, and those of you who are braver, do it for 48 hours or 72 hours. This is not that painful, but it's liberating. For the next 24 hours, at least, for the next 24 hours that you're awake, during the time you're awake, obviously don't wake up to do this, but for the next 24 hours, stop every hour. Stop every hour and write down what you've been thinking for the past hour. It won't take you that long. 2-3 minutes is all it'll take you to do. Put a timer. Most of you got smartphones. Put a timer on your iPhone or your Android or whatever you got. Put a timer on. All of them, even the dumb phones have timers, right? Put a timer on the phone and set it to go off every hour. And when it goes off, just stop, carry a little pad around with you, just stop, jot down keywords and bullets of what you were thinking, okay? And then go back at the end of the day and look at all this stuff and highlight the positive in yellow and the negative in, I don't know, if you did it in black, you wouldn't be able to see it. Highlight the positive in yellow just so you can see how much positive and how much negative you've been thinking. This is going to show you what you believe and what you're producing, okay? So do this for the next 24 to 48 hours. Every hour, stop, write down what you've been thinking. And then what I'd like for you to do, and I'll teach you about this in some of our strategies for developing that mindset of a winner, of a millionaire that we need to develop. But I want to give you some answers here today so that you take something with you and you take this exercise, you become conscious. And consciousness in and of itself is a great reward and is a great it's like the first step in change. But here's a few tips. Once you catch yourself thinking, consciously refocus on your goals and dreams. When you catch yourself thinking negative, consciously refocus on your goals and dreams. If you're so used to thinking negative you can't focus on your goals and dreams, focus on what you're grateful for. Count your blessings. Think about what you're grateful for or what you're excited about in your life right now and why that makes you excited, right? Or what you're committed to. Or what you love, what you love. Think about what you love. That spouse, that puppy dog, going to the beach, hiking, whatever it is you love to do. What makes you happy? Think about what makes you happy. The key is you want to create a mental atmosphere. You want to live in a mental atmosphere of happiness, gratitude, success, prosperity, and abundance. The key, ladies and gentlemen, to synchronizing your conscious and unconscious mind is to become conscious of what you're thinking and direct your thinking to produce what you want in life instead of what you don't want. When you do this, you will automate the process of creating your unlimited life. It will become easy, it will become fun, it will become great, and you will start creating your unlimited life at a speed that you can't believe. So, as usual, share this program with everyone you love through my website, through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're not subscribed to my TV and podcast channels or my website, you can do so at the end of this program. We've added a link at the end of this video so you can click on the video and sign up for what you're not signed up for. Join our global community. Help me spread the word that you can be, do, and have whatever you want by developing the mindset of the person who already has it, and anyone can do this. Join me on my mission to inspire millions of people to know their true power, be free, and live their unlimited life. So until next week, God bless you and your family, and live your unlimited life.